Trust me. 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 Trust me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Hello and welcome to a special interview by the Rafferty Mills Connection podcast. Our first guest back from the new year is truly very special. He really needs no introduction, but we'll give him one anyway. Being famous for his several stints in the WWF, what's now known as the WWE, during the 1980s, he stunned fans with his interviews and earned the nickname The Snake by carrying a snake to the ring. He's wrestled them all: Sting, Andre the Giant, Honky Tonk Man, Undertaker, amongst many others. He's also wrestled in every major promotion and territory you can think of. You name it, he's been there. NWA, WCW, WWF, and TNA are just many of the companies he's made his mark at. Forever being marked as a potential candidate in the WWE's Hall of Fame by his peers and fans, he truly is a legend of the squared circle. That's why it's a true honour and pleasure to welcome none other than Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this as well. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man. It's always good to reach out and touch somebody, you know.
One of my first questions is you've recently announced a retirement tour after having wrestled in 1975. What made you quit wrestling after so many years?
Well, it's just that, you know, the mind wants to do it, and the body inside wants to do it, but physically, you know, it's taking its toll, man. 34 years of it. My God, most people don't live that. And I've wrestled for 34 years, so it reaches a point to where you don't feel like you're contributing or performing at the level that you want, you know. And the last thing I want to do is prostitute the ring, you know, and because it's, you know, I honor it and I love it, but there comes a time when you just can't go anymore. I've had hip replacement, 2 discs out of my neck, wrist reconstruction, part of my foot removed. Oh, man, up and down.
Was there a moment where you basically just said, I really have to stop doing this, or was it just generally something that you've been thinking about?
It's something I've been thinking about. You know, it was a very, very tough decision to give up something that you love as much as I love this business. It hurts. And I'm sure, because I'm going to go ahead and wrestle the rest of this year, you know, and I'm sure as the date gets closer for me to finish, it's going to hurt even more. But I've got a few months now to go around and shake some hands and meet some people and see some fans and sign some more autographs and, you know, just give it a farewell, man.
What can we expect of the tour? You got any dates, locations, anything like that set in stone?
I do, but I don't have them on hand right this second.
I know you've spent some time in the UK. Would you come back to the UK to do something?
I'd like to. I really love the UK as far as the architecture over there. I didn't much care for the food. I'm not much into bangers and beans and spotted dick pudding and, you know, all the strange things. But I loved the history, you know, and that's something I hope I'll have more time for. So maybe it might not be as a wrestler, but I'm sure it'll be as a tourist.
You got any ideas after you stop wrestling? Like any plans, you know, where you want to do something else? Or
yeah, I want to raise my grandkids, man. A lot of children, and I've got 2 grandkids already. So there we go.
That's wonderful. Would you consider any writing or anything like that?
I would love to. It's a tough role, though, man, for me, because I speak my mind, and that gets me in trouble. And if I think it smells like poop, I call it poop, you know. And Vince once told me, he says, people hear you and look at you, and they're scared because I'm so driven by what I know is right, and to see people that are put in a position that don't know what they're doing, never been in the ring. It's tough, man, to swallow that. I'm sure that if I was in control, it wouldn't be anything like it was right now.
Yeah. I guess one of the many things I was always curious about with your character growing up was the character that you portrayed. Who exactly came up with the character idea, and did you have any influences, I guess, from movies, books, television to help build it?
Well, I came up with that years and years and years ago. And basically, oh man, the snake was brought along because I had a lot of things in my life that I didn't want to be exposed or people to ask me questions about, or family and stuff, because my father was in the business, my brother and sister were in the business, and I didn't want those questions. And I had a tough time coming up, man. I mean, we all have a tough time coming up these days, but a lot of it was personal. So I wanted to hide. So what's the best way to hide? Well, you can crawl in a hole somewhere and never come back out and be a hermit, or you can get a damn big snake and carry it around, and people will watch that damn thing and not you.
Did you script your interviews beforehand, or did you mostly just improvise it? Because you were well known for your interviews, and I think it's quite unique,
We're not scripting, I never were for me. But I do take information and ideas from music, from books, from movies, yada, yada, yada. A smart man knows where to steal his material.
One of the things that I was reading about was the idea how you got the nickname The Snake. Is it true you got it from an American football player?
No.
Okay, well, that's bullshit.
Well, actually, it was Kenny the Snake Stabler. He was left-handed. He was a wild one. He was a great quarterback and played in the NFL for the Raiders and later on for the Saints. And he was a wild child. He got in some trouble, but he always did his job. And I just loved him. And the snake thing has always fascinated me, because ever since I was a kid, I was scared to death of the damn things. Terrified. I mean, piss myself whenever I'd see one, And to bring that into my character, to keep people away from me and keep the focus off of me and keep it on the snake, was the right thing for me to do. It was bizarre. Nobody had done it before. It was a pain in the butt to carry that damn thing around. You guys have no idea how much fun it is to carry all your luggage and a 100-pound snake around.
One of the questions I've been meaning to ask you is just sort of staying on your interviews. Is you look at wrestling now, and there's not really as much sort of drive to the interviews, because I remember when I used to watch wrestling that it was more, the interviews would build up the matches and they'd build up the characters, and you don't really see that anymore. It seems to be scripted. Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's a bunch of goo. I don't like the way it's done now. I do understand what they're thinking is when they put two guys that supposedly hate each other in the ring with two microphones, and I guess there's an invisible wall that I'm not seeing. Because if you were really upset with somebody and you wanted to get to them, what's to stop you? And they just ramble on for minutes and minutes and minutes and waste a lot of airtime, which tells you that basically they got to spend their time talking because they can't do it working.
Now, having wrestled in many of the top territories before coming to the larger companies, mainly the WWF, now I wanted to talk about two territories, Stampede Wrestling over in Calgary and World Class in Dallas, are two that definitely spring to mind for me. What did you benefit the most from wrestling at these kind of places, these territories, and did you enjoy the experience overall?
Oh, absolutely. I love the Harts. Stu and Brett and I were roommates for a while. I was around Dynamite when he was Dynamite, and learned a lot, man, because there was some great talent up there, and you had the opportunity to learn because, they didn't pay a lot, but you were able to get in there and polish your art, whereas I wouldn't have got that opportunity if I'd been in a major territory at the time because I wasn't ready for it.